this is something that a lot of the times we don't talk about enough, is the sociability of the dog. And if you so say, for example, you decide that you've fallen madly in love with the Great Pyrenees, which is a flock guardian dog.
Right.
And those dogs are bred to be incredibly suspicious of everyone and everything other than their immediate pack. Right. So you love a Great Pyrenees, and that's great. Or, maybe it's an Eurasian or a Caucasian Ovacharka or something like that. One of those flock guardian breeds that are quite lovely to look at.
Right.
But they really are the stay at home, watch everybody with suspicion. If you have this dog in your house, you're going to need to do a lot of work making sure that you train it and making sure that you socialize it and making sure that you give it clear boundaries about what's appropriate and what's not. Because genetically, and we talked about how you can't train out genetics. You can train around genetics and you can create all sorts of structure surrounding genetics that will help you to ensure that those genetics don't come out at the wrong time and in the wrong way. But they're always going to be there. So if you are somebody who likes to entertain, you have people over for the party all the time, and you have Great Pyrenees as your breed of dog that you love, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to be aware of the innate nature of this dog, and you're going to have to be aware of overriding that so that that dog can fit into your world.
Right.
So things like that are huge. Whereas if you are that person that loves to socialize and loves to have people over, and you get a lab, that dog's going to fit in like probably. I mean, your average well-bred lab is just going to love that. Right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, more people. Oh my gosh, more people. Come in. Somebody goes to break into the house and a lab goes, come in, take my TV as long as you give me a cookie while you're doing it. I'm good with it.
Right.
Whereas a Great Pyrenees, your great Aunt Ida comes over for a visit, and that Great Pyr is not going to want to accept Great Aunt Ida into the house. Right. So does that dog have enough training now to understand that when you say, hey, Great Aunt Ida is fine to come out here, that's going to be a safe situation? Or, saving that, do you have a space to keep the dog so that they can be safe and so that Great Aunt Ida can be safe? Because, of course, we don't want any accidents for Great Aunt Ida.
Right, exactly, yes. Yeah. And the dog may be great with your children because they're part of the pack. But how about when your kids are, early teens and they start bringing over friends and, especially boys at that time get roughhousing and, how's the dog going to perceive that?
Yes, absolutely. And none of these problems are insurmountable if you have the right information and the right drive to do the work. But they are going to be things that you're going to need to tackle. So if you get a German Shepherd, they're going to be naturally suspicious. That's what they're bred to do. They're bred to guard. They're bred to keep the family safe. They're used as protection dogs in a lot of situations with more training, of course. The natural tendency of the dog in terms of sociability is a big factor as well. Yes. So this is definitely something that I would do a lot of reading and research into and really look critically at my own life. Yes. Do I have the lifestyle that this dog is not going to be constantly stressed? If my lifestyle doesn't match the dog's, do I have the chops to train what I need to train? Right. Do I have the desire to go out and find the information that I need to find? Or am I just going to cross my fingers and hope for the best? Am I that type of person? Yes. Like, know who you are. There's nothing wrong with any of these personality traits. We're all different. Right. Yes. We all have different habits. Our dogs all have different habits. There's nothing wrong with any of it. But if you get a mismatch, it's going to be a struggle for you, for the dog. Right.
Or if you get a breed that, like some of the rarer herding breeds are quite, just to put it bluntly, freaky, their temperaments. Yep. And you might go, I really love that dog. And then you get it and it's freaky and you can't change it. That's the way it is. Yeah. Like there's some of these, very primitive herding breeds. They're just not been bred for these big social situations. Yeah, I was at a pool party this summer and, I didn't know the people well, but I had been invited, and they had 2 dogs that they had rescued from, I think, maybe the Dominican Republic, and they were products of the street dogs, like hotcakes. And they were letting these dogs run loose at this big pool party. Those dogs were terrified. They were not enjoying themselves. They were afraid. And of course, people are drinking and patting them and trying to pat them. Bad. And these dogs were spook barking, backing away. And my heart broke for these dogs. And I think the owners thought the dogs were having fun or this was good for them.
Oh,
and it wasn't. I could see those dogs were afraid and not enjoying themselves.